I have a quick review to do, bit of a review on the Radiance, because I did sail on her. So some things to say about the Carnival Radiance. So she is a Sunshine class. So if you don't know, that was when they took the Destiny class and basically cut a hole in the middle, split it, and put a new segment in. And did some other upgrades. And so it was formerly the Destiny class ship called the Victory. And she's now called the Radiance. And so the ship is fine. The physical ship is great. I have no real notes or complaints.
I've never been on her before.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
No.
I don't think you've been on Sunshine class, actually. Come to think of it.
No.
So, but the Sunshine class is very nice, and so it's just a little bit better than Destiny or Conquest class, it's sometimes known as. It's a pretty subtle difference. One from the other. I don't find a huge difference there. So the ship itself is fine. And that's the tricky thing about reviewing ships, because ships are large objects and the crew turns over.
Yeah.
But I did encounter a couple issues that weren't great. So ship is lovely, love the ship, but there are some policies that are problematic. And they're mostly around MDR. So here's a weird thing we discovered. So the person I was traveling with had some dietary needs. And so they asked on the first night, any dietary needs or allergies? And she made, I'm sorry to say, the mistake of saying yes. Because what happened is they put her on some special program where she had to order her dinner 24 hours in advance.
Oh.
Even though she knew her allergies, she knew not to order things that she was allergic to. They put her on the program, and she didn't totally like it, but with the Hub app, you can go and look at the next day's menu. So she was able to kind of figure out, but you don't know what you want one day from the next.
Yeah.
You might not even sure if you're going to MDR tomorrow.
Yeah.
What if you're not feeling well, or you're having a long day in port, or just the guy's burgers is calling to you?
Or what if you get motion sickness?
Yeah, that's a good point. And they wouldn't take her off it. She was like, I will sign any waiver, I will talk to anyone I have to, but can I just order my own damn food?
Yeah.
In real time, like everyone else here? And they said, no, because you identified yourself as having some sort of, food sensitivity, we won't let you.
That's not right.
And that's very paternalistic.
Yeah.
And we had to go we complained, and they tried to make it work, but they basically said it's corporate policy that once you're on this program for a particular sailing, you can't go off of it. So that wasn't great. And there was huge variations of experiences in MDR with the staff. And again, cruise ship reviews, this is tricky because the staff turns over every 6 to 9 months. So I could tell you that the staff was amazing or horrible. I don't know that's going to be true in 6 to 9 months. It could be a whole different crew potentially. But I will say that there were both really, really lovely people in MDR who were some of the best we've ever seen, and some of the absolute worst. And so it really ran the gamut. And we were your time dining, and so that's part of your time dining. The risk you take is you get a different waiter potentially every time. Your mileage may vary from night to night. And so there was another thing that was kind of silly, talking about informed consent when you make purchases. So if you wanted tea, other than I think 1 or 2 kinds, it was an extra charge of I think $3.
So if you want what, green tea or...
It was green tea actually that she ordered. It was green tea that she ordered.
Yeah.
And so they tried to charge her $3. And she said you never told me, and they fought her. They fought her on this.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, the maitre d' came over and fought her on this.
Wow.
And so they were like, well, it's on the menu and it's all all these places, and you were told. And she says, I was not told. And I was the witness. I was like, no, at no point did they say there was an extra charge or what it was.
Yeah.
And it is not on the menu. And the maitre d' is like, it's on the menu. And we're like, fine, show us. Bring the menu. Also, here's our phone. Here's the app. Show us exactly where in there the price is. He flips through. He looks around. He says, I can't find it, but it's there. And we're like, no, that is not good enough. No way. You need to show us. And he couldn't. And he says, oh, well, it used to be there. And it's so we're supposed to know what used to be there? That's not a reason. Because he still refused to reverse the charge at that point. No. And so we fought and fought and fought. And eventually, I think just because he got tired of us, he finally reversed the charge, but never admitted that there was any wrongdoing. And this is an easy thing to change. Put it on the menu. You put how much the extra steak costs, how much the specialty coffees cost.
Yeah.
Why not list the teas that are free and the ones that cost more, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was funny because this was frustrating. And in subsequent visits to MDR, it was never on the menu, never appeared in the app. And we were doing videos all over the ship for our YouTube channel, show people stuff. And finally, I found where it was. It was in the Java Blue Cafe in tiny little print in one corner of this of the menu up on the thing. And that was the only place that it was hinted at anywhere that the tea cost extra. Because also in a lot of places at Carnival they say, oh, tea is included, but it's only like particular kinds, and anything beyond that, and suddenly
so regular tea and not specialty tea.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it got down to like basically it was one kind of tea was now free, and everything else was like $2.95.
No.
And the guy was arguing. He was saying, "Oh, if you go to Serbia, it'll cost you this much." We're like, "What do we care?"
Yeah, we're not.
What does
we're
that
not in
matter?
Serbia. What does that?
Yeah.
Have to do with that?
And he was just like, "Oh, but I'm just saying that it's a fair price." And it's like, "Yeah, but we paid to be on this cruise, and it includes food and drink.
Yeah.
So this is an upcharge from that." So like that was somewhat unpleasant. And on my particular sailing, there were some issues about. It seemed like there was two categories of guests, and now I'm talking about guest behavior. This is not something that can be tagged on Carnival or even the ship, but it was just a weird experience for me. Is it was like there were the people who had the internet package and were in the Facebook group for the sailing, and then there was everyone else.
Yeah.
And I was everyone else, and my cabin mate was in the group, and there was a real. That's something I'm thinking about. Send us your comments if what you're thinking about this, but it almost feels like Facebook groups and the internet is kind of, I don't want to drastically say ruining cruises, but it's having an effect where there's the people who are connected and have some advantage that they're getting real-time information, and they're connecting with all these people, and then there's everyone else. And so it feels like there's two tiers. So you can send us an email, team@vacationimpossible.ca. Let me know your thoughts on this, because I'm still forming my opinion. But is it gotten to the point where, like, in order to fully participate in the cruise and not feel left out, do you have to have the internet package so you can be in that Facebook group? Am I crazy? Was that a one-off? I don't know.
No.
Curious to hear people's thoughts on that.